See all those pieces on the table? I'm going to show you how they work together. First, in slide 1, we have a bird's eye view of the first mechanical operation that happens in our gun. Now the motor turns gear 1 in a east to west direction because this is the top view. The teeth push in an east to west direction, meshing with the teeth of gear 2. Here we have a side view of slide 1. In slide 2, we have the teeth of gear 1 pushing the teeth of gear 2 in this rotational movement. Now gear 3 is attached to gear 2 via a fixed rod. This fixed rod makes gear 3 move in the same direction of that of gear 2. Gear 2 and 3 are now both moving in a west to east direction. This brings us to slide 3. In slide 3, we see how gear 3 interacts with gear 4 from a bird's eye view. Gear 3 is moving in a clockwise direction relative to the view. The teeth push in a downwards direction, causing gear 4 to move in a counterclockwise direction. Now, gear 4 is very, very important. Gear 4 is on a fixed rod with gear 5 and gear 6. Because of this, when gear 4 moves in a counterclock direction, that causes gear 5 to move in the same direction as well as gear 6. They all spin on the same axis. This gear 5 looks pretty funny to me. Let's explore the functions of gear 5. Like we learned from slide 4, as gear 5 moves in the counterclockwise direction, this odd-shaped hook catches the straggling piece of piece number 7. As it turns, it moves number 7 back, as shown in this picture. As we can see here, piece number 7 has moved back. As we can see here, piece number 7, where my thumb is, moves back, which compresses the small spring. Now we can see that as piece number 5 continued to rotate, now piece 7 can return to its original position. This is done so by the pressure exerted by the small spring. So why did the creator of this gun go through that much trouble with all these pieces? It just came back to its original position, right? Correct. However, with further examination of the movement of piece 7, we can see that when piece 7 moves back, the extended piece no longer restricts the movement of the BB in the hopper to fall into the loading chamber back to its initial position. Once piece 7 returns, the BB is now in the loading chamber in an airtight seal between piece 7, the barrel, and the opening. In conclusion, piece number 7 nearly pushes the BB into the loading chamber. It does not propel the BB forward. The spring used is a very small spring that does not store the potential energy that is required to propel the BB out of the barrel. This is explained in slide number 7. Now, slide number 7. Piece number 7 is illustrated by the dotted outline. As you can see, within piece number 7, we have piece number 8. Piece number 8 is part of something called a piston of gear 6, catches the teeth of piece 8 and turns the counterclockwise motion of gear 6 into a horizontal motion of gear 8, pulling it back. Once the last tooth of gear 6 combines with the last tooth of piece 8, there's no longer anything pushing piece 8. A spring rapidly returns piece 8 back to its initial position. What does this mean? Increased pressure in a fixed volume needs to go somewhere and is released out the opening in piece 6. This air, this compressed air, pushes the BB out of the barrel at a very high velocity. This is how an airsoft gun works.
But why does a gun jam? I mean, when we want to shoot, we want it to keep shooting. We don't want it to break. Time out. We got a problem. This is probably what happened to Aaron's gun. So here's the current model of a gun. The piston, the holster of BBs, barrel, and the area in which the piston propels it out. So, what happens when a BB doesn't even get to this part? So what causes a jam? Let's check it out. There is your issue. So here's our current model. These BBs are in the holster without any aligning. Therefore, these two BBs can get stuck because they rely on gravity. They could just jam into each other. So what do we do about that? Well, the solution is quite simple. Here's our piston, here's the barrel, and here's the place where the BBs get pushed up by a spring. One by one, get propelled by the piston. No jamming, nice uniform alignment, everything's good. But now, what happens if this gun is always loaded? What are we gonna do? We can't walk around with a loaded gun all the time. That's just unsafe. Here is what we came up with. So here we have a pin that limits the force of the spring, thus the BBs are trapped in the clip. So how do we unlock it? Slide the switch this way. You'll have the clip open. Thus the spring exerts its force on the BBs until it hits this wall, which will be ready, thus enabling the piston to push it out and shoot. And that is how the cookie crumbles.
Oh, wow. I never know that it worked like that.
Yeah,
Thanks, you guys.
Simple mechanics and electrical engineering.
It's really not that bad when you think about it.
It's amazing.
It's awesome, guys.
Good luck in the championships, fella.
Thank you, sir.
We're just the engineers. No problem. Anytime. Anytime.
Thanks, engineers.
All right.
See you later.
Bye. Peace out.
Toodles.